Packing for the Dolomites isn't just tossing some clothes in a bag. This isn't like packing for the rest of Italy. Up here, it's alpine country. So here's the plan. First, I'm going to show you the packing mistakes that can ruin your time in the mountains. Then exactly what goes in my Dolomite backpack. Pack right and you'll love every second. Pack wrong and you'll wish you stayed in town eating strudel. And the best part, we're doing it all right here in my gear closet. Let's go. The Dolomiti may sit in northern Italy, but these are not the cobblestone streets in Florence, high passes, rocky terrain, and trails that demand respect. Yet every summer, you'll see people out here in jeans, sandals, or fashion sneakers. One rainstorm, one long descent, and they're soaked, sliding, or blistered, and that's not the trip you want. And even if you dodge that mistake, the altitude itself can still knock you sideways. The Dolomites aren't Everest, but you'll spend a lot of time above 6,000 to 8,000 feet. That means thinner air. You're gonna gas out faster on those climbs. And the sun, way stronger than it feels. 65 degrees here can still leave you with a lobster tan if you're not careful. You can't treat refugios like your only meal plan. Don't get me wrong, refugios are half the reason you hike the Dolomiti. Where else do you get homemade pasta, ragu, and strudel at the top of a mountain? But here's the problem. At altitude, you need to be drinking and eating every hour to keep your energy up. If you're banking on a refugio to bail you out, you'll already be running on empty. And the huts aren't like gas stations on every corner. Some close early, some aren't on your route, some are miles further ahead than you think. I've seen hikers crash hard on the trail because they didn't pack any fuel, thinking a refugio would take care of the food for them. If you feel warm when you start hiking in the Dolomiti, you've already blown it. I've seen hikers start bundled up like it's a ski day, only to strip down and hike in a soggy t-shirt because they've overheated too fast. The smarter move is to start a little chilly, just uncomfortable enough that you'll warm into it once you're moving. That way you'll stay dry and steady instead of having costume changes every 5 minutes. Now this isn't technically a packing mistake, it's a planning mistake, but I can't help you plan a backpack without also helping you plan your time as well. In the Dolomiti, trail time estimates assume you're hiking non-stop, but who comes all the way here just to power walk past the views? Between photo stops, terrace cappuccinos, and the reality of steep climbs that feel slower than they look on a map, a 4-hour hike can easily stretch into 6. And when you stack multiple hikes or long drives on top of that, suddenly your whole itinerary starts to unravel. The fix? Plan for fewer things each day, but give yourself more time to actually enjoy them. But enough about what not to do. Let's talk about what actually works, and I'll show you exactly what I pack for the Dolomiti to keep you comfortable no matter what these mountains throw at you. First up, the pack. And honestly, this is make or break. If you get this wrong, you're gonna hate your life on the trail because the last thing you wanna do is pack too heavy. The sweet spot is a 15 to 20 liter day pack. I'm assuming you're packing for day hikes also, not multi-day treks. This is small enough that you're not lugging around a house on your back, but big enough to hold layers, snacks, and a water bladder. This right here is your home base for the day. Get it right, everything else just works. Next up, not just hiking poles, but collapsible hiking poles. These are one of the smartest pieces of gear you can bring. The Dolomiti don't stay the same. Steep 1 minute, mellow the next. So being able to fold your poles down and stash them in seconds is huge. I don't know about you, but I hate stashing regular poles in my pack or awkwardly on the sides while they bang against me with every step. I've even tried shoving them against my back. Don't do that. That's why I love this black diamond pack. It has side sleeves on the outside made for poles so you can slide them in with barely breaking a stride. It's a thing of beauty, isn't it? Now let's talk water, but not those clunky bottles you fill up with tea for cold mornings. I love them, like this Yeti. I take it with me everywhere, but they're also heavy, bulky, and it's gonna make you feel that way on the trail. Ounces equals pounds, and pounds equals pain. In the Dolomiti, you need something extra light, something that can fit in a small space, and most importantly, deliver zero plastic waste. Because there's nothing worse than having a water bladder that tastes like saran wrap. Enter the Platypus Platy 2-liter bottle. It's collapsible, rolls up flat when empty, and weighs next to nothing, just over an ounce. With the platy, I fill this baby up, pack it in the back in the water bladder sleeve, and keep moving. This saves me so much time on the trail so I can hang and eat more at the 𝗙𝗪𝗁𝗍𝗪𝗁. Now, depending upon how you like to roll, you could either get the platy with just the cap so you can pull off the cap and take a sip, or you can get it with the full water bladder hose extension so it pops out and you can actually have the bite valve right in the front of your pack. Next up, a legit waterproof jacket. The Dolomites don't get as much rainfall as other alpine regions, but summer here can still mean wet hikes. July and August are the rainiest months, and it usually hits in afternoon bursts. Then September rolls in, technically the driest month of hiking season, but it can still bring rainy days and even snow at higher elevations. When I'm talking jackets, by the way, I don't mean water resistant. You're gonna be soaked in 5 minutes. You need a true waterproof shell, likely with Gore-Tex, lightweight, at least 3 season, and spend the extra money for better quality because you're gonna hike a lot longer being dry than feeling like a drowned rat. Next up, sunscreen. You're often hiking between 6,000 to 9,000 feet, and UV exposure jumps the higher you go. Add in reflection off snowfields and the pale limestone, and you can fry on what feels like a mild 65-degree day. Bring a high SPF, broad spectrum sunscreen, and reapply every couple of hours. I love this face stick and lip balm from 𝗙𝗵𝗶𝘀 because they're compact. Look at how tiny this is. Next up, footwear. Hiking boots or trail runners? Breaking in new shoes on these trails is asking for misery. You've got to break them in with at least 50 to 100 miles before your trip. Pick trail runners if you want lighter footwear that's more breathable. They're great for fast hikers or mellow days when you're sticking to well-groomed trails. Hiking boots give you better ankle support, better protection on scree, and grip on the wet and rocky descents, especially if you're tackling big elevation days or carrying extra weight. Next up, sock liners. These little guys are the cheapest insurance policy against blisters you'll ever buy. They wick sweat, cut friction, and keep your feet happy on long climbs and rocky descents. Paired with good wool socks, and they'll make a huge difference. I've learned the blister lesson the hard way. Just take a quick look. Yeah. Now, if you feel a hot spot on your foot and you're in the middle of nowhere and left your sock liners at the hotel, make sure you pack Compeed. These little patches act like a second skin and stop a raw spot from becoming the end of your foot modeling contract. Next up, a neck gaiter. I love the Buff brand. Once you get one, you'll use it all the time. A Buff keeps you warm on chilly mornings, shields your face when the wind kicks up dust, stops bugs from getting on your face during a hot day, and even doubles as a headband once you're sweating through a climb. It takes up almost no space in your pack. Honestly, I usually just wear mine. Let's talk about how to layer your clothes. What you wear in the Dolomites has to mimic the mountains, always changing. Think a moisture-wicking base layer, an insulating mid layer, and a true waterproof outer shell. This combo covers 90% of the weather you'll face out here. Now, on hot exposed days, you can usually get away with a lightweight sun shirt, which is a lifesaver. It gives you full coverage without baking you, breathes well, and saves you from slathering sunscreen on every hour. If you're heading into open meadows or high ridge lines, you're going to be glad you packed one of these. Next up, a dry bag keeps your spare layers and electronics safe so you're not pulling out a soggy jacket or a dead phone when the rain hits. It's one of those hope you don't need it items in your pack, but you're going to thank yourself when you do pieces kind of gear. I get most of my gear from REI, and honestly, it comes down to the member benefits. Membership is just $30 for life. You get 10% back on eligible purchases. You also get a 365-day return policy. I'll drop a link below so you can sign up for your own REI membership before you start shopping for Dolomite gear. I've also linked my favorite items to pack and more that I didn't cover in this episode below, so you can grab the exact pieces I use. And to help you plan your ultimate Dolomite trip, check out my full playlist with over 20 episodes, hikes, itineraries, hidden gems, all the stuff I wish I knew before my trip. I'll link it here so you can dive in next, and I'll see you there.